Yo, Lions Nation, one pride. What up, though? Coming to y'all after a very bad defeat. Our Lions went out there to Baltimore and got their ass beat. Uh, Dominated on both sides of the ball pretty much for 3 quarters. We went into the fourth quarter 35-0. First half, Baltimore with 355 yards total. I think we was under 100. It looked even worse in the first quarter. Initial thoughts on this one. This is kind of one of the games, like when we look at the schedule, that you would peg as a potential loss when you're going through. So in that aspect, doesn't really hurt you, doesn't really matter. One of the better teams that was left on the schedule, but you expect a better performance from the team. That much is clear. 3 straight 3-and-outs for our offense to start the game. And then 4 straight scores, I believe. Like, we couldn't get them to punt. Our best attempt at it was in that first drive, and we got them to a fourth down. Lamar Jackson does the design quarterback run on the keeper, and we just aren't home for that one. So, I don't know. Aaron Glenn did not have his best game coaching. I feel like he was terribly, terribly outcoached in this game. We didn't like all the cushion that we were giving receivers. It seemed like every time Lamar threw the ball in that first half, people were wide the fuck open. I don't know what it is with Aaron Glenn, and maybe it's a Dan Campbell thing. Maybe they're on the same page. But when we go up against certain quarterbacks, I don't know. The game plan is just completely different. It looks different, and it's terrible. I don't know what the plan was to try to keep Lamar contained in the pocket, but doing that gave him all day to throw the fucking ball. Like, he had all day. It was one play where he had down there 10 seconds to throw, and you just can't have that. Any quarterback in the league, you give them that much time, they're going to find somebody to hurt you. Brian Branch return. I thought he did okay, but again, it's kind of hard to evaluate anyone on defense, really, because it seemed like they were asked to play off a lot in today's game. You see Cam Sutton having his worst game of the season, even on one play where we were in man coverage. He's 10 yards away from the man he's covering in man coverage. Yeah, just a bad game. It doesn't hurt the outlook on the season. You're going to get a bunch of talking heads and pundits that's going to say maybe the Lions aren't as good as we thought they were, but I think just sometimes you run into a buzzsaw. A team see you coming, they whoop your ass, and there's nothing you can do about it. Every team has one of these type of games per year. It's kind of reminiscent of the Carolina game last year, but this game didn't feel as dominated as that Carolina game did. Like, that Carolina game, it just felt like we could not stop them from running the ball. This game, it just seemed like if the defense just get their shit together and the offense just get some drives going, we were good. Like, no one was panicking when it was 14-0. You had a little bit of panic when it was 21-0, and then you felt the game was pretty much over at 28-0, because at that point we just hadn't done shit. So, we'll recoup, come back Monday night. I expect us to beat the brakes off the fucking Raiders, but this takes us back to what me and JH was talking about on. He felt like we were an elite team, and I was telling him I think we're still a piece away from being elite, and we need a different pass rusher. Feel like if we had that exceptional pass rusher today, this game goes completely different. And I know you can want certain players all you want in this league to make your team better, but that's just not how it works with Cap and everything else. But we do need to make that trade. We need someone else to pair with Aiden Hutchinson. I thought Aiden Hutchinson still had a decent game. It was a lot of holding calls that weren't called on our team, period, because they did quite a bit of holding. You see the defensive pass interference there at the end of the game on Jamison Williams. The broadcasters only want to talk about, this is the type of day they're having. The ball bounces off his helmet, but if you can't get your right arm up to even make the attempt, I mean, what can you do? Jamison Williams on today 6 targets for 0 catches. People will probably harp on his last catch, his last target of the day, where he got kind of turned around and will appear to be another drop. But what I look at when I see that play is, you go back to last week when he's running the corner route, the pylon route, and he initially looks over his outside shoulder, but the ball is thrown inside, so he has to turn towards the inside. This week, he looks over the inside shoulder on the other side of the field. The ball's on the outside, so he has to then turn around and try to catch it on the outside. I don't know how him and Goff is going to get on the same page, but something needs to get there. Goff interception. Jameson Williams is running open on the post route, but Goff throws it like he thought he was going to run a corner, and there's no one over there but the defense. So, they just need to get on the same page. I don't think Jared Goff had a very good game at all. I felt like he had bad decisions. He missed open throws. His pocket mobility was pure trash today. He wasn't calling out blitzes. Like, it's a couple times where he should have known he was hot to the backside. It's just quarterback things. I don't think he had a very, very good fucking game, and it'll probably show in his quarterback rating. But I'm not going to let that game define him up until this point. He had played well. I think he kind of got jinxed. I forget who that was. I said Jared Goff hadn't had a bad game. I think it was Nick Wright. Hadn't had a bad game in almost a calendar year, so you say that type of stuff leading up to the game, and it kind of jinxed him. So Jared Goff had a bad game, but both our coordinators did not have their greatest game. I don't think Aaron Glenn called a great game at all, and I don't think Ben Johnson called a great game. As much praise as we always give him, he is susceptible to some scrutiny, and today is one of those games. We didn't have the greatest play calls. Anytime we're going 3 and out on our first 3 drives, something has to give. It seemed like we got blitzed on second down every single time that put us behind the sticks. You got to call a play to beat the blitz. It'll take to really review the film and see what the play call was and see if it was actually designed to beat what the defense had, or were we just being outcoached. That's how I feel. Felt like we got outcoached today. We got outplayed. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think you had a good game. I felt like he was him and Amon-Ra St. Brown was one of the few players still out there playing hard. I know J-Mo had 6 targets, but I still think we need to get him better targets. It was one pass from Goff where he ran the motion and kind of flared out into the flat behind the line of scrimmage. And Goff doesn't put the ball on him. He kind of leads him, but you can put that on whoever you want. I think it was just another bad pass by Goff, but that's me. I just don't think Goff had his best game today. From any aspect, throwing it, mobility with his feet, or the intellectual game. He had 2 fumbles. He did manage to recover them. Well, one got recovered for him. But, yeah, just not the greatest game. This would be the type of game, they'll watch the film, see what they can learn from it, and then they throw that shit away. Because it is not representative of how good our team is, with how bad they played, nor is it really representative of how good the Baltimore Ravens are. I think they played way above what they should have. You look at the play where Lamar Jackson was on a design run to the left, and we immediately blow that play up, and he cuts back to the right, and the running back, who was just a decoy, just manages to be behind our defense. He throws it to him, and then it goes for damn near 50 to 80 yards. I think it was 80 yards before we finally got him down. That type of shit is just fluky as luck. You're not going to have that repeatedly if we play this team again. Like, you can't expect that type of shit. But again, it's a game where I feel like we went up against a somewhat potent offense with a potent quarterback. And I just don't think Aaron Glenn came with the best plan. I think we should have been blitzing Lamar Jackson to speed up his play clock, make him get rid of that ball quickly. But it seemed like they really just wanted to keep him in the pocket. And he sat in that pocket forever and threw it to wide open targets damn near all game, especially that first half. And tore our ass up. So, I mean, if you want to dare him to pass the damn ball, that's what he did. We don't have the type of pass rushers where we can routinely just rush 4 against the type of offensive line they have and be able to speed up his play clock. We got home or close to getting home a couple times. But, yeah, Lamar Jackson being the player that he is, he got up out of there, extended the play, and made a play downfield. So, tough loss. Not much we can do about it. We got our ass whooped. We just got to take this one on the chin and move on to next week. All right, one pride, I'm out of here.